Hello, hello. Sophia here for Frequency Friday. Are you ready to let pleasure reveal your path? One of the ways that I tune in to my pleasure is through my dance. Hello, hello. We are gathering. Yes. Removing all distractions and inviting you into this moment. What is your relationship to pleasure in this moment, in your life, in valuing pleasure, feeling good in your body? We have not been taught to value pleasure, to value feeling good, feeling turned on and aligned. So I am here to share some of my own personal story of what it has taken me to live my yes, to align with my highest yes and allow pleasure to truly reveal the path. That's one of my favorite tracks. I'm so excited. I just licensed it. It's called Open by Equanimous, and I just licensed it for a new video that will be coming out shortly. Yes. Hello, hello, beauties. Welcome to this Frequency Friday, and we have been diving deep here in Temple Body Sisterhood and really tuning in to our wombs, to our cycles, to our feminine power. And with all of this, it is just so important. Ultimately, we have to learn to listen to our bodies. And this is what it means to be an embodied feminine leader, is to listen, to truly, truly listen. Because for so long, we have been taught that we need to look outside of ourselves, that, we need to figure out our path. That, who here has ever felt that, like, oh, I need to figure it out. What is my purpose? What am I doing here? I need to figure it out. And I'm always like, stop. I'm like, you don't have to figure it out. Like, you actually cannot figure it out, because figuring things out comes from here. And we have to allow our path to reveal itself. And the way that I have allowed my path to reveal, and the way that I train my other beautiful temple body artists and students to discover their divine purpose and their path, is through a deep process of connecting and listening to your temple body, to understanding that you have an inner compass within you that is guiding you all of the time. Who here feels this, knows this, resonates with this? Now, we might know this, but actually, like, listening and then responding and then taking action aligned with this deeper knowing and guidance is scary. I know it's scary. I have been there. It is definitely the path of the sacred rebel. And who here relates to being a sacred rebel? I am coming out of my closet. I am here to take a stand for all sacred rebels out there. I do feel that this is part of, this beautiful collective that is gathering here. We have so many new women. I'm so excited. So welcome if you're tuning in to a Frequency Friday for the first time. We are here to carve a new path, a new way. A way that is, it's the feminine way in that it's honoring the body and the deep wisdom that is living within us. Yes, beautiful, Titsa. We have to honor these whispers of the sacred rebel, of the one who knows, like, hey, we are here to pioneer a new way. And pleasure, for me, I really want to make a distinction here, because there's different kinds of pleasure. So there is pleasure in the moment. There's those things that are like, yes, if I share this bottle of wine right now, even though a little whisper inside is like, you have a meeting tomorrow morning, you probably should only have one glass. But in the moment, you are in that moment of pleasure and you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna drink this whole bottle with my girlfriend, whatever it is. Maybe I'm gonna go smoke a joint, even though I know that's not the best thing for me. But in the moment, like, I've definitely been there. It's like that deep knowing of what is aligned with what I truly want to create. So I want to like bring this through here. It's like the way that, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go way back. And some of you may know this, so I was born into a family, 4th generation in a spiritual organization called Subud. And so from a very young age, I was taught to listen to the divine guidance within me. Now, this is wonderful on one level. On the other side, when you're a teenager and you're a little sacred, rebellious teenager wanting to explore and experiment, having this connection to a deep knowing can really kind of mess with you. So there's definitely that. But from a young age and from the time that I started to really practice in the spiritual organization Subud, I would receive the clarity and the knowing of like what was truly in alignment with my soul and with what I am here to share, and with just being living aligned to divine creative spirit, recognizing that. And so that's really how I've been living my life for 30 years or more, is this deep place of listening. And it's listening into the body, into the pleasure, but also really it's deeper than that. It's a deep knowing of what is in alignment with my soul and what is not. And those whispers that show up when you're not living fully aligned, and those whispers that show up when they're like, go this way, yes, go this way. And so that inner compass lives within us, and the way that we can really polish that inner compass is through these practices, through deeply listening and the embodiment and valuing your inner compass and your inner knowing. And so this is a lot of what I teach in my embodied feminine leadership path, really like what it takes to carve your path in a way aligned with your soul's essence. And so when I speak of pleasure, it's a pleasure that comes when you know that you are in alignment with your soul. The pleasure of being able to show up and share my message. For so long, sisters, I was living here in Costa Rica and I knew I had something so big to share, but I had no idea how to do this thing. This was like back in 2013, 2014. Hey, sisters. Yes, this was a long time ago. And I just got on Instagram, but I was like, how do I do this thing? And I didn't know how to share my message. And so I was really struggling with feeling this deep call to be of service, feeling that the way I was doing it as an artist, as a yogi, as a dancer, was not translating in my bank. Let me say that, like, no money, just like money pouring out as I'm like paying for myself to go on tour and do these different things. And to really, let me come back. So yes, it was not pleasurable, even though on many levels I was dancing, I was, you know, on stages, I was sharing, I was like connected to this incredible wealth of you know, network and festivals and all of these beautiful opportunities. But because I wasn't fully aligned with offering my gifts in the way that I was being called to, it was not pleasurable. Like, there was this miss. And I remember, I mean, I was constantly shifting and changing the name of what I was offering and trying to find my way. Like, does anyone connect with this? Like, you're like, okay, this is the name of my modality, my thing, and you like put it out there, and then it's like, this doesn't really feel super aligned. And I would just keep changing. And I remember my husband just being like, what? You're gonna change again? Because I used to call my modality Danyasa. It was literally, Danyasa was the fusion of dance and yoga. And yeah, it kept shifting. I had so many different names for the things that I did. And I had to just keep shifting until I knew that it was fully aligned. It wasn't until it was fully aligned that I felt the pleasure of being fully rooted in this knowing that I was on my path. Does that make sense? It's like those moments where I discovered the temple body priestess living within me. And this is like way back, I feel like probably 6-7 years ago. The temple body priestess came to me, and I was like, okay, I'm here to teach temple body dance, and was like trying to bring that through. But it's like, it's all about divine timing too, sisters. So these whispers of the temple body priestess and temple body had been around, and I had to keep shifting and listening and moving and trusting, so much trust. And you know, for a very long time, my tagline has been live your yes. So yes, being this space of being that full body yes, where you're just like every cell of your body is expanding and you are fully aligned in that moment. I really believe that that is your soul speaking to you, saying yes. You might get those little goosies on your, you know, your truth bumps, your goosies on your body, where it's like, oh, okay, there's something here. Yes. Have you felt this full body yes moment? And so that is the pleasure I'm speaking about, the pleasure of being and living in your yes, in your highest yes, so that everything around you is aligning. And this is not the easy path. Sacred rebels, this is not the easy path, but this is the path that will, yes, give so much pleasure. It will keep giving back because you're living in alignment. And when we're living in alignment and we're living in our highest yes, and that is also our highest desires, and then the world and our allies and the universe and divine creative spirit, everything just begins to shift and open, and the opportunities come to really reveal themselves to us when we take the steps to really align and follow the pleasure of being fully embodied, embodying our unique soul's essence and saying yes. Yes. take a moment to connect in with your body right now and to think about a time, a moment when you felt this full body yes. And maybe it was when you were in full pleasure. Maybe, in that moment of experiencing full pleasure with a partner or with yourself, and you're feeling that yes, of that opening. There's this sensation of opening. And as we open, we receive. So the more that we are living in pleasure, the more that we are living in our highest yes, the more that we are opening up to receive more of what we are saying yes to. So as we say yes to pleasure, this opens up the portal, opens up the path to really reveal to you your soul's path. It is unique for each and every one of us. We cannot compare to each other, to the people online that we're looking up to, that we're inspired by. No, it's like, yes, allow yourself to be inspired and then listen. Listen to your own unique pleasure compass. And again, not the momentary pleasure, but that deep sense of fulfillment pleasure, that joy pleasure, that anchored pleasure, where you can truly be sourced from that place. And this is a practice. Believe me, I was out yesterday in bed feeling like crap, okay? And I'm like, okay, team, I'm like writing to my team, I'm like, I am very far away from pleasure right now. Send me some love. And, I have to say that thankfully, I'm feeling better today, and I needed that day of rest. But there was also something about experiencing like the extreme yuckiness of feeling so effing uncomfortable in my body. It was my belly. It was no good. It was so uncomfortable. And then today to really like come into this space of gratitude and to feel like, wow, yes, like the difference. And I think that that's an important piece to remember, is that we've had experiences in our life that have been very far away from pleasure. And yet the more that we are able to experience like the deep grief, those moments of grief, those moments of pain, of loss, and feeling like shame, feeling uncomfortable in our bodies, feeling like, who am I to show up to do this? And the more that you experience those feelings, that also allows you to experience like the super high connection to your pleasure and to your body. So I just want to say that if you have struggled, especially with shame. Shame is one of the most what is it? The word. I'm like, it is one of these experiences that so many we all experience to some degree. And it's such a killer in like blocking us from experiencing our divine essence that is pleasurable when we are connected to our essence, to our beauty, to insidious. Yes, that's a good word. So this shame that comes in, like, sisters, we have to actually deal with this shame too. We have to be able to look at it and see where it might be blocking us, and then really coming into a sense of our power. Exactly. Shame feels like shrinking. It's like the shame takes us into this space of contraction. It is the opposite to pleasure. It is the opposite to yes. Shame is saying, no, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve this. Who am I to step out there and be the leader that I am and to shine? But sister, who are you not? Whatever you have experienced, if you experience a lot of shame, and what the journey has been for you will support you Like there are always gems there. And if you can really see, okay, what are the lessons here and how can I meet myself and meet this shame and actually invite the shame into the light with this full moon? How can you invite all parts of yourself to become visible? Because we all experience shame to some degree. And it is such a block to our pleasure and to truly stepping out and becoming more visible. If you are one here that is a soulpreneur, an entrepreneur, a feminine leader, or feeling like, you know, you have these gifts within you that you want to share, just like I did, these deep gifts, and shame or fear or resistance is holding you back, like bring them into the light. Say yes, lean in, take a little step closer to pleasure, to what you know is truly aligned with your soul. This is being a soulpreneur. It's really this like new wave of stepping out to create your life and your life's work and your business aligned with your soul. And this brings pleasure. This is the pleasure path. So just taking a moment wherever you are on this journey, on this path. Taking a moment and really feeling into your own personal relationship to pleasure, to saying yes to yourself and what you know is truly aligned with your soul and what you are here to share. In the Embodied Feminine Leadership path, in my Temple Body Art certification, I have really created this methodology and map that supports women in clearing these inner stories, these inner ways that get in the way of us fully showing up and creating and offering what it is that we are here to offer. And to really say yes to themselves, to their gifts, to carve their own path. And so if this is something that you are desiring, that you're like, yes, I am ready, or I think I'm ready, or, you know, I'm ready to be done with how I have been showing up, and I need support, and I need a map, and I need to say yes to this, to my pleasure, to allow the path to reveal. So we just popped in the link there if you're interested to check out the certification path and to really say yes to yourself and all that is coming through with an incredible global sisterhood. And I also just want to say too that coming to Activation, my 3-day feminine embodied leadership training that is coming up in 1 month at the end of March over the full moon. It is going to be so powerful. It's virtual. You can do it from wherever you are. We're going to go so deep into really looking at, you know, what is blocking you from really stepping into this full magnetic visibility, and what does it look like to create your business in a way that's pleasurable, to have this sacred marriage of the masculine and the feminine to create your life from, and to create sustainable wealth doing what you love. So Activation is going to be a perfect space for you to dive in and experience this work with other sisters from around the world. And this is my only training that I am doing publicly for the whole year, other than the work that I do inside my certification program. So I want to just make sure that you know it's happening and you can claim your seat. You get a special coupon that I think we just shared in the comments here. So check the comments. And right now also you get to bring a sister for free. So when you get your ticket, they're already like 90% off. So right now, I'm just offering them for $96 for 3-day training. This is like $1,000 value. But I really just want to make it accessible. You get an extra discount, plus you get to bring a sister for free. So bring a sister who can truly be that divine mirror and support you, so that when you come out of activation, you can also continue to stay aligned with your soul, with this pleasure. Like those moments when life tries to pull you off and distract you, it's like you need that person to hold you accountable. So bring a sister that can be that for you. And yes, how can you say yes to your pleasure and allow this powerful full moon that we're in to truly illuminate the path as well? So holding that intention and that ritual and allowing the full moon to illuminate your path as you say yes to pleasure, to what fills your cup. I'd love for you to share in the chat here. Yes, what are you going to, what's one action you can take to say yes to your pleasure? Write that in the comments below, sisters. Let's inspire one another. Thank you for being here in this beautiful growing sisterhood. So much love and full moon blessings. Keep saying yes to that deep anchored space of pleasure and alignment and living your yes. Much love.